Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis is ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good evening. Good morning and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Hope the show finds you in good spirits and all of that goodness. All right, yes, we're back at it again, but we're back at it again with another case, a different story this time, a different situation and a different need out here. And the need is to get you guys to have some awareness on what's going on with this particular case so that we can hopefully help find Caleb Harris and bring him home to his loving family. Listen, guys, we're going to get straight into it because I got to be honest, there's a lot that has happened over the past month. It's been a month. He's been missing in 2 days, it'll be a month. I just want that to soak in really quick, okay? He's been missing for a whole month. And yes, there are some people that are talking about it, and then there's some people that are not. So we're here to talk about it, bring awareness to it, and hopefully we can bring his butt back home safely. I'm going to continue the theme music really quick, but at the same time, I just wanted to make sure you guys knew that it's been almost 30 days, guys. So it's been a doggone month since this young man walked out of his apartment and was never to be seen and heard from ever again. And there's a lot of stuff that's going on that I'm confused, man. I'm confused. And I got so many questions. I think we all have a lot of burning questions. For those of y'all who know about this case, and for those of y'all who don't know about this case, as soon as we start going into the conversation, I guarantee you, you guys are going to have the same doggone questions I got too. Okay, so do me a favor. Let's get into this. Hit that like button down below. Quick housekeeping. Hit that like button down below. Hit that reaction button. If you're watching on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, please show some love. That'd be greatly appreciated. It's a brand new case, at least for me, on this platform, okay? So please, the more you react, the more you conversate, comment, and etc. underneath this show and during the show, you know, if you're watching the replay later, it helps get the name out there. And we need to help find Caleb. So please, comment, like, react, do all that stuff. Do not forget, of course, please, to hit that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. Do not forget, if you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching on Twitter or any of the other platforms, please follow me on those platforms, okay? I will be doing a late TikTok live this evening, so be sure to be on the lookout for that. I will be on there live. We're going to have like just kind of an open Wild Wild West kind of conversation on a smattering of different things, okay? There may be a conversation of this. Of course, we'll be talking about Sebastian Rogers and the sort. Okay? So please be sure to do that. All right? Follow me over there on TikTok. All right? Anyway. Of course, if you want to support the channel, hit that join button down below. If you're watching on YouTube, if you want to support the channel even more, please go over to patreon.com/The Pascal Show. Be greatly appreciated. Of course, check out pascalmerch.com. We got some really great t-shirts, hoodies, and the like over there. Really nice merchandise. Go check it out. All righty, guys. We got to get into this. We got some things. We got many miles to go before we stop this show. So we got to get into this because this case has been popping off for the past month. Actually, let me just say this. It's been popping off, but it hasn't really been popping off, if you catch what I'm saying. I feel like everybody knows about this case or kind of has caught wind of this case, but there hasn't really been as much of a focus like it has been for Sebastian Rogers. And I'm not sitting here saying it's not a dig at nobody, okay? This is not a dig at anybody. It's just an observation, okay? It's just an observation. It's just an observation, okay? Just notice that. Sebastian, understandably, needs as much energy and focus, but also Caleb does as well. Okay? 21-year-old Caleb goes A&M. He's a college student, A&M Texas Corpus Christi. Okay? Big fan of the outdoors. Loves to hunt, fish, etc. All right? He ordered some Uber Eats late on March 4th. Walked outside and was never seen or heard from again. It's such a weird one, y'all. And, a part of me feels like there's some Riley Strain vibes here. It gives me so many different things. Okay, it's like a Sebastian Rogers / Riley Strain. And hold on, before everyone goes, wait a second, what do you mean by Sebastian Rogers? Tranquilo. Hold on. Before everyone thinks I'm talking about like something bad or sinister about the parents. No, the parents are lovely. They're lovely. The parents are lovely. Okay? They're doing everything they can to find their son. They're doing everything they can to find their son. So I'm not talking about that at all. I'm just talking about the fact that this young man walks out his front door and poof, he disappears. Puff the magic dragon, he gone. That's the part that I don't get. That gives me the Sebastian Rogers vibe, not the other stuff. I'm not talking about the proud feats or anything like that. I'm just saying the fact that he left without a trace. You see it in the title above, down below, wherever you're watching this show right here. Now you get what I'm saying? Okay, now everybody breathe in, breathe out. Everything's going to be okay. I'm not saying any foul play on behalf of family members or anything of that sort, but it is very weird that this young man walks out of his front door. And then there were little things that happened, little breadcrumbs that happened. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, gone. Okay? Sebastian Rogers vibes, but then also Riley Strain vibes. You see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? You get it now? Okay. I'm just making sure we're on the same page. Okay? But most importantly, where is he? Where did he go? What happened here? Don't worry, we're going to get into some things. We got a gang of videos that we're going to be looking at, okay? We got some articles that we're going to be looking at as well, all right? There's one that I saw that I feel gave a fairly decent breakdown of everything. Of course, maybe later on, maybe in another show, we might watch the Nancy Grace episode because it is a good episode. Randy Harris, Caleb Harris's father, went on to the show, gave a bunch of information. We are going to be seeing a lot of his father in a lot of interviews. He's been out here trying to get awareness and bring awareness to his son's case. But like I said, I feel like everybody's been so focused, understandably. I'm like I said, hold on. I'm not knocking anybody. I get it. The Riley Strain case just took the world by storm. And then right after that, it was Sebastian, and Sebastian still needs to be found. Okay. But Caleb also needs the same amount of energy, if not the same amount of love, same amount of focus, and ask the same amount of questions as well, because it's something just ain't right here. Now, there's a lot that we're going to be breaking down. But first, let's get into this little bit of an article. It gives us a breakdown of the timeline since right before he disappeared, which is interesting, like I said, which is very, very interesting. So let's take a look at this here. Okay. Now it says here, anyone who comes forward with information on the whereabouts. Oh, first, actually, let me just share this with you too, before we go into that. Okay. The reward has bumped up, has doubled. Okay. Has doubled. It was at first $25,000. Okay. And now has gone up to $50,000. So a reward of $50,000 is being offered for information that leads to the safe return of Caleb Harris. That's a whole lot of keys, y'all. So if you guys are out there and you guys know anything, first off, make sure it's solid information. Okay. Make sure it's solid information. But at the same time, any information at this point would be helpful, but don't go off the beaten path here. Okay? Don't be wearing that tinfoil hat, calling in, going, yeah, I saw some alien looking dude just standing right there. He was in fluorescent green. I swear to God. Don't do that, because that reward ain't coming to you. Just so you know. Okay? Last I checked, they're not going to find that as credible information. But moving on, it is bumped up. It is doubled. $50,000. If you know of anything, please call 361-826-2950. Again, 361-826-2950. Please call. If you have solid information out here, that will be greatly appreciated. Don't worry, I'll bring that back up again. I know you guys can pause it, screenshot that, share it amongst your friends if you are in the area, okay? College students that know Caleb, that may have been out there that night or may have seen him, maybe walking down the street randomly, please call that number, okay? Forget the money. I mean, of course, the money is, a motivator for sure. But at the same time, if you know of anything, please speak up. Okay? But let's get into this. Let's get into this article. Okay? So, of course, anyone who knows anything about his whereabouts when he went missing on March 4th, they've increased that reward to $50,000. That hopefully would inspire some people to step forward and give some solid information, not just some BS, some solid information. Okay. So Caleb Harris is 21. All right. Was a student at the Texas A&M University-Corpus Christi when he vanished from his apartment complex near campus nearly a month ago. Like I said, this is almost a month. In 2 days, it'll be a month since he's been missing. That's crazy, y'all. So on March 28th, the Corpus Christi Police Department updated the public on ongoing search efforts and issued a more accurate investigative timeline leading up to his disappearance, which I am very appreciative of them actually breaking this down. Because I've seen many different TikTok videos and seen many different things, but it's never been all like articles. None of the articles have been giving us a solid breakdown all in one sitting. Okay. So let's get into this. Okay. According to the update, Harris spent the evening of Sunday, March 3rd, inside his off-campus apartment with his two roommates and a mutual friend. Harris and his friend played video games online for over an hour with another former high school classmate in Colorado. So I'm assuming that they were like live streaming, they were playing online, right? He wasn't there, but he was playing in Colorado. They were gaming and having a good time. Okay. And this is Sunday night, by the way, just so you guys know. So no, it wasn't like he was out at the bars, kicking it and doing all this crazy stuff. But don't worry, we're going to get into that conversation and the possibilities of what transpired Sunday night in just a little bit. At around 12:56 a.m. on Monday, March 4th, a doorbell camera at a nearby apartment captured Harris, his friend, and one of Harris's roommates in the parking lot playing with a puppy belonging to the girlfriend of one of Harris's roommates, and then returning to the apartment. So they played video games for a little while, and then maybe the dog needed to go take a leak. Maybe they just wanted to stretch their legs a little bit because maybe they were just gaming hard, right? They're like, let's stretch our legs. Let's just get some fresh air. Let's let the dog stretch his legs. Let's play with the puppy a little bit. Whoop-de-woo, right? But they went back into the apartment after that. Okay? So shortly after, the mutual friend departed because he didn't live there. And Harris's roommate stated he was going to bed. Harris replied that he was going to stay up and order snacks via Uber Eats for his school lunch later that day. Mind you, this is like around 1 o'clock in the morning. Okay. on a Sunday night. So he was like, nah, man, I ain't going to go down to the local convenience store. I'm just going to Uber Eats that stuff so that when it's here, I don't have to do all that extra work. Tomorrow morning, I'll have it ready. I can go and do my thing, right? Go to school and do whatever. From my understanding, he had plans on going fishing later on that day as well, after school, after his classes, which is interesting information to know anyway. Let's get into it. At around 2:44 a.m., Harris shared a Snapchat video with his younger sister that depicts Harris walking the puppy through what appears to be the apartment complex parking lot. So he took the dog back out to give it a walk. I don't know. But he walked the dog again about an hour after, a little less than, about 2 hours, I guess, after they were outside playing with the dog. 12:56, maybe an hour. Okay. Maybe an hour and a half or so. You know what I mean? Okay. But he sent a Snapchat video to his sister showing him walking the dog, the puppy. At around 3:03 a.m., Harris sent another Snapchat photo to a high school friend in San Antonio. The image depicts a small bridge over a drainage ditch within a few hundred feet of the entrance of his apartment complex. Interesting. At around 3:12 a.m., his cell phone's last shared location data, his cell phone last shared location data with the nearest cell phone tower. So then I guess, I see what you're saying. His cell phone last shared, location data with the nearest cell phone tower. All right. At around 3:20 a.m., the Uber Eats driver delivered his order to his apartment, leaving it outside the front door per the order request. The following day, the roommate discovered the Uber Eats order outside the front door and Harris's truck parked in the front of the apartment. His wallet and keys were left behind in the apartment, and all that appeared missing were Harris and his cell phone. The roommates described Harris as a homebody and a creature of habit. And you're going to hear that kind of in his dad's interviews. There's some footage out here that dad's out here talking about these things, etc. All right. And he's like, yeah, he's a creature of habit. He's, he loves the outdoors. And I think a lot of the times he's focused on trying to get back out there, trying to enjoy the great outdoors, right? Creature of habit, investigators stated. So the initial search of the apartment complex and the immediate area surrounding it revealed no signs of a struggle or violence, nor any indication of a hit and run accident on the roads nearby. So just so you guys know, Harris is approximately 5'11". He weighs 180 pounds with brown hair and brown eyes. And of course, we already know now that the family has uptick the reward to a whole $50,000 with anyone that has any information on the whereabouts of Caleb Harris. Now, yes, this is a very broad stroke type of breakdown. It is, but like I said, it's very, very odd because at some point his phone turns off or it loses signal, whichever one it is. It's weird. He sends out a photo of this. I'm going to find it again. Where was that? Where was that? Right here, a drainage ditch, which I found to be a little bit weird here. Okay. So around 3:03 a.m., he sent another Snapchat photo to a high school friend in San Antonio. The image depicts a small bridge over a drainage ditch within a few hundred feet of the entrance to his apartment complex. So, one of the questions I have is, and this is why I say maybe some Riley strain, maybe it's a Riley strain. I don't know. Because if you really think about it, if this image that was depicted, and from my understanding, that day was a very foggy day or foggy night. Okay, it was a very foggy night. And the footage, the photo that's being seen, I have it in like this TikTok video. I'm going to share it with you guys here in a second. But the image is very cloudy. It's very foggy. It's very murky. You know what I mean? But it shows this like he's like maybe about to cross this small bridge, or maybe he was standing by it, taking a look at the thing. I don't know. But then the other part I have a question on is, did he return the puppy back or no? That's one piece that I still don't have answered yet. Did the dog disappear too? Or is the dog back at home? Okay. Shan69 just said, puppy is safe. Now, if that's true, that's interesting. But one thing I'm wondering, that means he came back. That means he went back to the apartment at some point and then went back outside. Like, dropped the dog off, did the walk with the dog, but it's a puppy. You got to remember it's a puppy. Maybe the puppy couldn't, maybe the puppy was getting tired. And he's like, all right, you're getting tired, bro. Let me take you back. And then I'll enjoy my time outside. Mind you, this was somebody who loves being outdoors. Then he goes, he drops the puppy off, walks back outside, and then gone. Now, again, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to keep saying this because I feel like this is something that we've been saying a lot lately. Seems like the theme of this season. Okay, but no one just up and disappears just like that. It just doesn't happen unless and only unless there's a tragic accident that happens here. Mind you, where they were, in the area that they are, it's quite a bit of water in the area. What are the chances of him actually slipping and falling? What are the chances? You got to remember, he took the dog for a walk, took a bunch of photos. Last photo or last image was sent to a high school friend in San Antonio at around 3:03 a.m. on a Sunday night or early Monday morning of this small bridge going over this drainage ditch. And from my understanding, that drainage ditch is not deep. The water in that drainage ditch is not deep. So it's not like he could succumb to water falling in that drainage ditch. You see what I'm saying? Unless we find out something different. But from my understanding, that's the piece I'm going, wait a second, that just doesn't make, like I said, the math ain't math in here to me at all. It's a bit weird. Right? Anyway, let's continue. We got some things we're going to be looking at. We got some things to look at. All right. But still, he sent out this image. That's the last image he sent. And then his phone just either dies or just loses signal. It's weird. It's weird. But then again, this could be something as simple as an accident happening. I got to say it. We have to err on the side of caution, okay? We got to err on the side of, all right, there could have been a tragic accident or something sinister happened. We kind of have to sit on the fence, okay? Unfortunately. But let's get into some videos. We got a lot of them to look at. We got a gang of videos to take a look at. So, man, I got so many questions, y'all. So many questions. Hold on. Also, we do have the doorbell footage. We are going to be looking at that here shortly as well. Like I said, it's just, this is so odd. This whole series of events is very odd. Let's take a look. We got Cuomo. Let's take a look at Cuomo.
I want to bring in Caleb's father, Randy Harris. Randy, thank you for taking the opportunity. We're happy to offer it to you. I'm sorry it's under these circumstances. What do you want people to know?
We're still positive. We're still in good windows. We're praying hard, and we've got just an immense amount of people helping today, from prayer to the authorities that are here have been phenomenal. We have the Texas Czar here. They're a search and rescue team. They brought in boats. They brought in people. They brought in the dogs this afternoon. We just need to find Caleb. He's out there, and we know he's out there. It's just a matter of where is he and what happened.
Randy, what are we working with in terms of what Caleb's about? Does he have any conditions, or is he on medication? Did he have any kind of habits or mental health issue? Did he have any enemies, any practices, anything that is indicative of what might have been?
I'm so happy you asked this, because that's one of the things I keep asking myself. Is there any, did he have any bouts with mental health? Was he on specific medication? But I got more questions than just that.
Honestly, he really does not. He is just a all-around 21-year-old kid that, loves to fish. Obviously, all the pictures everybody's seeing, loves to hunt, and that's what he enjoys, and loves the Lord, and just very, very odd situation.
Let me ask this. I'm going to get it out the way right now. And I mean this with all due respect, okay? I mean no disrespect to anybody who's watching in the nosebleed seats. So don't sit there, clutch your pearls, getting all upset with me asking this most definitely important question. Did he like to party? That sounded weird. I'm not talking about P. Diddy. Did Caleb like to party? I mean, that's a question. He's 21 years old. He's 21 years old. He's a college student. Think about it for a second. And I don't mean like party like he was just, but what if it's a Sunday night and he's up at 3:00 in the morning? Keep that in consideration. Put that in consideration for a second. Did he partake in the Mary Jane? Did he partake in things, right? He was gaming with his friends. Now, it could have been super simple and innocent. He could have just been drinking Red Bulls and hanging out. Or he could have been partaking in alcohol or other types of stuff. That's still a possibility. And of course, I am still curious. As much as come on now, like as kids, we love to have our best foot forward and look like the poster child for the perfect son or the perfect daughter. But then when when the cat's away, the mice will play. And I'm just being real. We all, for those of us who went through college, know what college is really all about. Okay? People kick it. I'm not sitting here saying everybody does, but it's a Sunday night. He's up till 3:00 in the morning. He still has to wake up and go to work or go to class a few hours from then. I mean, what are the chances? Okay. I'm just saying we can't not have that on the table. We can't knock that off the table just because, he was just an outdoorsy kid and he just loved the Lord. I mean, I get that piece, and that's beautiful. You know what I mean? God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. Okay? But at the same time, though, he may not have been drinking Perrier and reading the Bible whilst gaming. I'm just saying. So we have to put that into consideration because his mind could have been altered a little bit while he was taking a walk. Or maybe something sinister. Okay? Or maybe something sinister happened. I don't know. Like I said, we have to sit on the fence, but we have to ask these questions. We definitely have to ask these questions, okay? And I say that with all due respect, but I'm just going to keep it real. I know what college was like. We all went through, for those of us who went through college, we know at least we were college adjacent, okay? We knew people who just partied all the time, or we were the ones who were partying all the time, okay? So, something to put into consideration for this particular case. Let's continue.
He has never disappeared before.
Question, no.
He's not a kid.
Sir?
No, he is a kid.
He's never disappeared like this before. He doesn't like just take off and go fishing for a few days or anything like that.
No, not at all. And matter of fact, that's kind of the part of the rules is, he has to have a friend with him. And luckily he's got 2 roommates that love to hunt and fish. And so he's always got somebody with him. He would never venture out at 3 a.m. To do anything like this. And, if they're going duck hunting or fishing, yeah, they're going to get up and go at 5 a.m. Caleb's missing without anything. No shoes, no wallet, no, his truck was locked. His keys are in the house. He was preparing for school the next day by ordering Uber Eats for from a convenience store. So we had his lunch and everything for the next day, and he had been texting me about what he was going to be fishing with, the next afternoon, because he prepares for that. Just a lot of preparation for the next day of just a normal day.
Like he was really getting his fishing poles ready. Like he was super gung-ho about what was going to transpire later on that day after class. And that's dope, right? That's really dope that he has that passion. He loves to hunt. He loves to fish. Apparently, this is what he wanted to do with his life. Maybe get sponsored by certain brands so that he can just go out there and just do what he loves, which is hunt, fish, and just be an outdoorsman. That's really inspiring. That's really admirable. And I think that's awesome. Clearly, he was very, very hype about that. And clearly, it was his main priority. But he also still held it down in school. Apparently, he high marks, great grades. He was able to balance all these things, and he's a good kid, right? So what happened here? He walks out, and from what we're understanding, he doesn't have shoes on too. Sebastian Rogers. See what I'm saying? There's so many things it's like 2 cases smashed into one, right? Except with loving parents. You know what I mean? For one of the cases, I'm not talking about Riley. Riley's case, they got really loving parents, but you know what I'm saying? These parents are really, really doing everything they can to find where their son is. Unlike Sebastian's case, right? But just like Sebastian, this young man left with allegedly no shoes on. Now, I don't know about you, but if I'm leaving my crib sans shoes, I'm not going very far, at least in my mind. I'm not thinking that I'm going to a very far place. I'm taking a very short trip because I'm thinking that maybe it's something that's a few feet away from the front door, which is very rare. I will still run and get my slides. You know what I'm saying? So what's up with this? Because allegedly he left without his shoes. He left without his wallet. He left without his keys, but he had his cell phone with him. What's going on here? So where did he go? Real quick, let me get this. Maura, thank you so much. Welcome to the family. I think you're refreshing, okay? But I appreciate you coming back, okay? Thank you so much. Welcome to the family. And just like Maura, all right, consider becoming a member, okay? These purple lights, you don't see them right now. I'm going to show them to you anyway. These purple lights don't pay themselves, okay? I appreciate the support. Thank you very much. Maura, Thank you so much for the 5, gifting 5 new memberships. Welcome to the family, all 5 of you. Hopefully it's nice and cozy over here, and I hope I just wrap you guys with nothing but love. Okay, welcome to the family, all 5 of you, and hopefully you stick around and stay a member. Okay, just something to think about. All right. But anyway, let us get into this. All right, we got more in this video, so let's take a look.
And just to make sure we have it right, I reported earlier, if you heard it, that he went out to walk his dog 1:45 in the morning. That wasn't unusual for him. He brought the dog back and then went back outside. Is that how you understand it?
Yes. He actually walked the dog at 2:44 a.m. is our timestamp on Snapchat, and then about 2:58 is when he brought the dog back, and then at 2:58 is when his phone went dead or turned off.
Randy, we're here for you. You let us know how to help. You let us know what information you want to get out, what you're looking for. We're a call away.
I'm still wondering, like, okay, somebody said I just pulled it up, right? I just pulled it up and I said, hey, he was not wearing any shoes, allegedly. Allegedly, he's not wearing any shoes. So clearly he wasn't planning on going anywhere very far. But like I said, what's up with that? I know some people are thinking that maybe he was taken. I don't know. Again, I don't know. It just seems it's so odd. He walks out without shoes on, and then he never returns back. But then there's a photo that's sent on Snapchat around 3:03 showing a small bridge over a drainage ditch just a few hundred feet from the entrance of his apartment complex. So when he went outside, if he still had control over his phone at that time, he was by that drainage ditch a few hundred feet away from the entrance of his apartment without shoes on. So why was he out there? Was he out there to get a hookup? If you get what I'm saying. Was he trying to get a little, little smoky smoke? I'm sorry. I got to ask these questions. Yes, we are all human. Okay. What are the chances? Did he call up one of his boys to get a hookup for the fishing trip? Maybe he was trying to get some stuff for the fishing trip. You're out there in nature, you're on the boat. I could see that happening, roll up a little J. Why do I sound like I'm 90 years old? You know what I'm saying, though. Okay. Roll up a fatty, whatever it is, right? That's a possibility. So if he was to go outside and get that hookup, right? Why would that person do whatever they ended up doing to Caleb? I'm curious, but that's what I'm wondering too. Centaurus. I'm wondering that too. Was he already under the influence? Was he already kicking it? Like it was a Sunday fun day type of thing. I'm here, I'm hanging out with my boys. I don't have to operate any heavy machinery. I'm not driving. Bet. I'm just going to play some video games with my boys. We're just going to chill. There's not going to be any heavy, lifting as far as like choreography, getting out there. I don't have to impress nobody. I could just be sitting in my PJs, playing video games, having some laughs, and maybe cracking a few beers and maybe some shots of Fireball. You see what I'm saying? I could see that happening. And then, he ain't done. He ain't ready to go to sleep yet. He still has some things he has to get ready for the following day. And then he's like, man, it'd be nice to have a little something for the road, or something for the trip, for the fishing trip. I can see that. He hits up his plug shows up. He gets his stuff. But in the meantime, he's still drinking, having a good time, doing what he's doing. Again, he's young. I'm not saying he just turned 21, but he's 21. He could legally drink. And college culture is different, out here. It really is. It's not only just Greek life. The binge drinking is real. It really, really is real. And I know some of y'all back in the day could drink like a gang of beers, sleep for 2 hours, wake up the next day, brush your teeth, gargle some scope, okay, and show up to class bright-eyed and bushy-tailed without any problems. But try that when you hit 30, it's a whole other conversation. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You know who you are. And I'm talking to every single last one of y'all who are sitting there going, oh, those were the days. But some people could do that. Anything's possible here. Anything's possible. Listen, he was planning on still going to class a few hours from when he was ordering his Uber Eats. So he clearly was like, yo, I'm going to get through this. I'm going to get through this day. It's going to suck, but I'm going to get through it. And then I'm going to get on that boat and I'm going to fish. And I can't wait for that. Interesting, right? We got surveillance footage from this news clip I want to share with you guys. So let's take a look at this. Like I said, anything's possible. I am not right on this story. I'm just putting out possibilities. I'm just asking the questions because no one has any answers. He's nowhere to be found right now. And of course, they're doing everything they can to find him. But at the same time, where was his mental state at that time? Was he really sober completely? Or were they kicking it? And that's one thing I wish that his roommates and his friend that came over to play video games, I wish that they would actually let us know that piece too. Give us a little bit more insight of what actually happened before they all decided to turn in for the night at damn near 1 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday night. Remember, we talked about the 3 Kansas City Chief fans that were found frozen in the backyard, right? It was a Sunday night. Come on now, let's think about it. Let's talk about it. Sunday night. And they're out kicking it. They're definitely not out there reading the Bible and drinking Perrier. This is a college kid. There's a good possibility he could have been out there with his friends just doing a light kicking it. And sometimes that light kicking it gets turned up a notch. And you're like, oh, damn, I didn't even know. Woo! You know what I mean? Sunday fun day. So let's get into this doorbell surveillance I want to share with you guys as well. Let's take a look.
Academy, continuing our coverage this Friday night into the urgent search for Caleb Harris. Tonight, we're reviewing new video of the A&M University student appearing to be from the last night that he was seen.
A Ring camera capturing some of his last movements before his mysterious disappearance.
So take a look here. Caleb can be seen in the parking lot at his off-campus apartment complex off of Ennis Jocelyn around 1 a.m. He was with one of his roommates, a friend outside playing with a dog. Caleb's face visible as he looked toward the Ring camera before they make their way back in the other direction on that night in early March.
Now, cute dog, by the way, cute dog. But at the same time, let's be real. They look like they're having a good time. Just a leisure, chill Sunday, playing some video games, letting the boys be boys, hanging out, doing whatever. Now, again, just because he was out, if he was drinking in his apartment with his friends and his roommate, does not mean it's a bad thing. Maybe he, like I said, something happened here. But I'm also wondering too, this surveillance footage right here, is there more? Do we see him walking out of the apartment? Do we see anything more of him coming out of that apartment? A couple hours later. Does it show him walking down the street with the puppy and then coming back with the puppy and then leaving again? Was there a car that drives by that is not the Uber Eats driver? Or the guy, allegedly there was a guy that was there too that apparently was spending the weekend with his girlfriend and left the next morning, or that morning, early in the morning, around 3 or so. Though they have both been cleared. And also, yes, roommates have been cleared. I'm not sitting here saying roommates are doing something sinister. Not at all. I'm just saying, what do they know? And and what other information have they given out to police that could be public for public knowledge? But I'm curious, because if this is like where, or even down the little ways where his apartment actually is with his roommate, I'm wondering if they have footage of him coming back out. Just seems a little bit weird that we only get this. Why aren't we seeing anything more?
And the search for Caleb Harris now in its third week. Just yesterday, his parents offering a reward of $25,000 for his safe return. Now,
obviously, it has gone up. Okay, it's doubled.
Create a sense of urgency for anyone who may have information and hasn't come forward yet. A deadline of March 31st has been placed on that reward. You can call Crime Stoppers where you can remain anonymous.
You know what's sad too? It breaks my heart because he looks a lot like his mama. Put some purple heart emojis if you feel me. He looks a lot like his mama. Look at this. Where's that photo? Bang. He looks exactly like his mama. Look at that. That's heartbreaking. That is heartbreaking. We got more though. Like I said, we're going to be going down a swift trip down memory lane so we can kind of just get up to date as to where we are right now. There's a bunch of interviews, so on and so forth, but he looks exactly like his mama. Man, I hope they find him. I know I shared, this is on my thumbnail, but I do want to share it with you guys too. Again, this is what he looks like, even with his hair shorter. So I wanted to share that with you guys so you guys can see that as well. You know, just different photos of him and whatnot. And you never know. He may be straight edge as all hell. You know, drinks nothing but water, orange juice, and keeps his body natural. I don't know. You know what I mean? But then again, he is a college kid. Anything's possible. All right. He could be completely like sober. But then again, I don't know. Enjoying that great outdoors. I mean, you know, I feel like it kind of comes hand in hand, you know, like, you know, take a hit and be a part of nature. You know what I mean? I don't know. It just seems a little bit odd. Ellen just said sleepwalking. Maybe. But then where is he? You see what I'm saying? Then where is he, dag nabbit? That's what I'd like to know. Where the heck is this young man? Because he would have turned up by now somewhere. If he was sleepwalking, he would have woken up by now. It's 30 days, right? Real quick, Nashville. Sarah, Kate, thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome to the family. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. But like I said, it's just a bit odd, y'all. It's just weird. It's just weird. Do me a favor, guys. Hit that like button down below, please, and thank you. Hit it. Let's get it to. Can we get it to like 800 likes? Can we? If you're watching on YouTube, can we get to the 800 likes? Like I said, it helps get the story out here. It gets the word out here for Caleb and Caleb's family. I know for a fact that they would really appreciate that. So if you can show some love, please do that. Please and thank you. All right. Don't forget to subscribe. Of course, shameless plug, you know, because, you know, I got a family to feed. Anyway. Thank you so much, guys, for the support and the love. We got more. We ain't done yet. We got a lot more to look at. So trust and believe. We're going to rock and roll. Let's continue.
The urgent search for a missing Texas A&M University student has now entered its third week. The father of Caleb Harris pleading for the public's help to find his 21-year-old son. The university community and local authorities continue to search areas around the Corpus Christi campus. Caleb was last seen March 4th, just before 3 a.m., while walking his dog at his off-campus apartment complex. Now, the dog made it back home, but Caleb never did. Police say he took his phone, but about 15 minutes later, it was turned off or ran out of battery, and Caleb seemingly vanished. So Caleb's father, Randy Harris, joins me live. Randy, thank you so much for giving me some of your valuable time. First, what is the latest on the search for your son?
Hold on one second, guys. This is acting really, really weird. Hold on. Give me a second. Hold on, guys. Very odd. Okay. That was very weird. Hold on. Okay. Let's try this again. This whole thing just freaked out. Let's continue.
Just intensifying, working with the authorities, police. They're doing everything they possibly can and getting additional help. And we got a lot of volunteers out searching as well in different areas as we're beginning to get some leads. So far, nothing's panned out. People sometimes they think they may have seen him or something like that, so they're out checking those leads out as they come in. But right now, we still don't really have anything solid that we can go look at yet.
Yeah, and Randy, kind of walk us through what you know about his disappearance. When he was last seen, we know he was walking his dog apparently, but then the dog somehow came home and Caleb didn't.
Yes, they had gotten a new dog that evening, and so they were out. There's several videos of them playing with the dog and ring camera videos of them playing with the dog. He then took the dog out again at 2:44, Snapchatted my daughter a video, and then about 2:58, his phone just went offline, whether it was turned off or ran out of battery.
What's interesting is the correction there. In the article, it says that he Snapchatted a friend, a high school friend, but he actually Snapchatted his sister late at night. So that's an interesting correction, right? That it wasn't the friend. And yes, tea trees. Yeah. Yes, this is the dad. Okay. This is the dad. And I didn't mean to hit this, but I'm going to do this anyway. Karen, welcome to the family. Thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Consider becoming a member, guys. Please and thank you. Okay. Blah, blah. All right. Now, this is interesting. All right. Snapchat photo was sent, but then maybe he was trying to send that earlier, but because of bad reception, it didn't go through. That's a possibility as well. I don't know. I don't know that area very well, but sometimes the signals are crappy. Okay. So interesting. You know what I mean? Did I say it earlier? I could have sworn it said high school. Yep. Says high school friend. Hold on. Let me show it to you guys because, I like my receipts. Let me show it to you guys. I highlighted it as well. It says right here, Harris sent another. Well, okay. Okay, you're right. I did say it. Blah. Okay. Yeah, I was trying to do the count, blah, blah. I love to count. You know what I mean? Anyway, I don't know why that was in my head. Just roll with me, guys. It's been a long day. But Harris shared Snapchat video with his younger sister. Yes, but it was showing him walking the puppy, right? And then he sent the photo of the ditch or the drainage ditch, right? Showing a small bridge under not so troubling water. So that's interesting, right? Interesting. Okay. I just want to make sure I had that correct. Sorry about that, guys, but let me correct that Let me make that correctly. All right. That correction correctly. Let's continue. But that's interesting. Video of a puppy, then there was another photo of drainage. Interesting. And then nothing after that.
And he was planning for the next day, planning his lunch, waiting for Uber Eats to drop off, 2 Lunchables, apple pie, and a Red Bull, and that was normal. Everything he did up to this point was 100% normal. He was a very scheduled, individual, and texting me fishing lures earlier in the evening of what he was planning on going fishing the next day, and what he, we do that a lot, and everything was looking good, good grades, good, just everything. There's no indication of anything like he would, be leaving or anything like that. He left his wallet, his keys. We're 100% sure he was barefooted even.
Yeah.
100% sure he was barefooted. Now, again, because people were asking, like, was he really barefoot? Was he really barefoot? Is that just is that wrong? Is that blah blah blah? You're hearing it from Papa. You're hearing it from the Papa himself. The only thing I would say, the only pushback I got, and I say this with all the love in my heart, okay, with all due respect to Mr. Harris, is it scheduled for him to do a DoorDash or an Uber Eats at damn near 2, 3 o'clock in the morning? Is that normal for him? Now, he may be scheduled on other things, but is that normal for him to do that at 3, 4, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning? That doesn't sound like a very scheduled thing. Now, what he ate and what he ordered, very typical. That's what he's saying, which makes total sense, right? But the late part, how late that is, that's not normal. To me, that sounds like maybe he forgot to do it earlier, maybe. Or he may have had the munchies. He may have had the late night munchies. That's possible. Again, like Combat Drummer just said, he's 21. Damn right, he's 21. So is it normal to do an Uber Eats for him at 2 o'clock in the morning? I mean, that's the question. That's a question I'd like to ask. That's a question I have, at least in my mind, that if I ever was to cross paths or be blessed to have the Harris family on the show, or his dad on the show or something like that, that would be something I'd ask. Like, is that normal? Is that 100% normal? Because it doesn't seem like that's normal. That late. Okay. And yes, you're right, Nicole B. They can definitely check his order history just to see what he's done before. And if that's something that he does a lot on a Sunday night, that could very well be it too. I mean, clearly he knew that he could order Uber Eats that late at night. So it's not like he hasn't done it before. But at the same time, like I said, it just seems, it's just interesting. And maybe it sure it's normal, but I think it's something that has to do with him possibly kicking it and going, oh, it's late, but I need this stuff for tomorrow, And yes, I know. Yes, I know, Sid, that it was all for his stuff that for the following morning, for the following day, for his fishing trip, for sure. But then I feel like he could have waited the next day for that stuff. I don't know. Just interesting. Okay. Interesting stuff. Okay. But let's continue on. Like I said, just asking the questions. Asking the questions.
Randy, I know this entire situation has to seem surreal for you. No parent ever thinks they're going to be in this situation. Is there something that stands out as being the most odd to you? I mean, if he was barefoot, if he left his wallet, if he was making plans for the next day, is there something that just doesn't seem to be adding up? Does all of it not add up?
Really, all of it doesn't add up. I mean, he's just, we just don't know. When you have a kid that's planning, so much, signing his apartment, doing, getting ready for work and working in Alaska, in King Salmon, Alaska this summer. Just,
Wow.
Friends, family, just is a very scheduled person, goes to school, comes home, grabs his fishing stuff with his roommates, and they're out on the water fishing. And that's what they do. And then,
That's what's up.
he's a homeboy. He likes to be, in the apartment with his roommates, with friends, playing a video games. Typical college kid.
Right. So,
I mean, that sounds dope that he just loved what he did. And it sounded like he had something really, really awesome, at least in that field. I mean, not everybody's an outdoorsy person, but to have that kind of job lined up in Alaska, that sounds like a dope ass job. Let's keep it real, especially in his line, in his line of passion, right? In his passion and in his enjoyment and love for the outdoors. That sounded like it was going to be an awesome trip, an awesome summer for him. So it just seems weird that this whole thing went down. The other question I have too, is, did he have a girl? Or did he have, did he have any significant others? Did he have any disgruntled exes? Did he get along with everybody at school? I know it's college, but still, people are still a-holes, man. Bullies are everywhere. It doesn't matter if you're in high school or in grade school, okay? Bullies are everywhere. So I keep wondering, what is it that happened here? Why would somebody be out here and be a part of his disappearance if how he disappeared is by the hands of somebody else? So I keep wondering, is there a girl, disgruntled ex, a dude that might be upset that he was trying to holler at the girl that he liked? I don't know. You know what I mean? But those are questions that I feel like need to be answered, because I have yet to hear anything about those things too.
So Randy, you've told us who Caleb is. You kind of described his personality. Is he the kind of kid, because somebody may say, well, maybe he just left, but is he the kind of kid that would just leave like this and not tell anyone anything and not take his wallet and turn off his phone?
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, he very rarely, went anywhere other than to come home. His focus was there, and focus was, fishing. And, we know where he goes fishing. I've always been able to track his phone. And I'll check on him to make sure, we had just bought him a VHF radio. So he always had that attached to his shoulder, and just a very, having his first aid kits and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And I know this is such a difficult situation, and one, again, that no parent ever thinks they will be in. How have you and your family kind of been coping these past 3 weeks?
Well, we rely on our faith, and, God's got a plan. We know that. And our hope is that not only we get Caleb back, but God will be glorified in a miraculous way through this. And we have to depend on our faith and our family, and just a sheer incredible amount of people that have helped us. The volunteers that are out there still today doing different searches all over Corpus Christi. And the big thing that we really focus on too is anybody in the Corpus Christi area that may have a Ring camera, go back and check the timeline from 2:30 to 3:30 or 2:30 to 4. Your timeline in the morning, because there's Ring cameras everywhere.
Absolutely.
And so that we're really encouraging everybody to search the Ring cameras again and see if they can see anything.
I can't emphasize that enough. There really needs to be more people stepping forward and giving law enforcement as much ring camera footage as they can. That's something I think is so super important when it comes to this whole thing. I mean, it's pretty wild to me that we only have one, at least from what we've seen, only have one ring cam video so far, and that's of him with the puppy and his roommate and one of his college buddies. I find that very weird. Now, I'm not sitting here saying it's foul play and it's sinister, diabolical. No, I'm just saying it just seems weird that we don't have any other footage showing him leave by himself, showing him leave and walk down the sidewalk. Where is he? What did he do? You got footage of him playing with the puppy as the puppy's walking around and stuff. Great, great footage. But do we have footage from that same angle of him walking out at around 3 o'clock in the morning? I would assume that the parking lot lights were still on. They were still on, I'm sure. If they were still on around 1 o'clock when they took the dog to take a leak and, stretch their legs a little bit, then those lights were still on at around 3 o'clock when he allegedly kicked rocks. So where's that footage? Where's that footage?
Randy, my last question for you. I mean, there is likely someone who knows something about your son's disappearance. What is your message to that person or to those people?
Please say something. If you see something, say something. Call 911. They're standing by. They will address every 911 call coming in directed towards Caleb, and they'll immediately dispatch, and they will follow up on it. So we're just asking, pleading, if anybody knows anything, please reach out to the police, call 911, and let's get Caleb home.
I can't emphasize that enough, but I do want to share with you guys these pieces. Okay, last seen March 4th, he was walking his roommate's dog, his roommate's girlfriend's dog. He vanished near off-campus apartment, Texas A&M University-Corpus Christi. He left behind his keys, his wallet, and his car. He took his phone, but it was since turned off. He ordered food for the next day at school. Uber Eats dropped that stuff off at the door, and then they left. Now, again, they have said that the Uber Eats delivery person, okay, it was a woman, allegedly they are cleared of any possible wrongdoing or any connection to this case. They literally walked up, dropped the stuff off exactly how it was asked to be dropped off. They put it right there in the front door. I'm sure they took a photo of it like they usually do to show proof positive to confirm the delivery, and then they left. The only other person that was around was allegedly another person that was in a car leaving around 3 o'clock in the morning. And from what we understand is that person was there to visit his girlfriend and may have just left that night because they had to go back. They lived in another city and they left to go to that other city. Apparently, they have been cleared as well. So still, no matter what, it still is not mathing. Nothing is mathing when it comes to this. He was out. He was with his family or with his friends, hanging out, playing video games for the night on Sunday. It was getting late. His friends went outside to let the dog stretch its legs and let them get some air, some fresh air in the middle of playing, I'm sure, Call of Duty or something of that sort. That's where we see the ring cam footage. Then they went back inside. His friend said, "Hey, I got to go." He chucked up the deuces and kicked rocks. His roommate said, "I'm going to bed." So he went and started to go to bed. He went, according to his roommate, the roommate says that Caleb turned to him and said, "Hey, I'm going to order some Uber Eats and blah, blah, blah." Right. And I'm sure he was still getting ready for his fishing trip, getting his reels done, etc., with his fishing rods and all that stuff. He orders the Uber Eats. He goes, takes the dog out for another walk, allegedly sends a Snapchat to his sister, walking the dog, walking the puppy. Then I guess he comes back into the house or into the apartment, dropping the dog off. And then he goes back outside again. And during that time, he sends another photo, this time of a small bridge going over a drainage ditch a few hundred feet away from his apartment complex. And that's it. And then that's when his phone turns off, and this is when he vanishes. So I have a lot of questions. I got this TikTok that I want to share with you guys. We're only going to play a little bit of it because I've already just basically gave you guys the whole breakdown, okay? And then I got one of the friends of Caleb does speak out in an interview. I want to share that with you guys as well. So we ain't done yet. We are nowhere near done yet. We got a few more miles to go. All right. But please be sure to hit that like button down below, please. And thank you. Don't forget to do that. That helps with the show. Helps, most importantly, get the word out here about Caleb and this particular case. And you can see, if you go and check out the family's TikTok page, you can see there's a lot of love. They really want to find their son. They just want this whole thing figured out. Okay. And so if you can, please share this video, share this feed, hashtag his name. It doesn't even matter. You don't even need to share this video, okay, or share this live. Just hashtag his name, okay? Start asking questions. Let's bump up Caleb's name a little bit out here in these internet streets, okay? And I mean that in the best positive way possible. Not some crazy, tinfoil hat BS. I'm talking some serious, just getting the word out here and trying to bring him home. Okay? Please hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button on my other platforms, please and thank you. Follow me on TikTok. I will be on a little bit later in a few hours doing a TikTok live over there, just having an open conversation about Sebastian and Caleb and other things as well. We're going to be talking about a bunch of things, okay? So be sure to tune in, okay? All right, so I got another one. Let's take a look at this TikTok. All right. And this is from Dark Hive. So take a look at this.
I'm going to talk about missing Caleb Harris. This case is pretty crazy, and his father is trying.
Now, I'm not trying to show you the whole thing because this is the part I want to show you. This is allegedly the photo that was sent on Snapchat, sent to the friend. The drainage. Okay. The small bridge over the drainage ditch. And I agree. I don't think he fell in the drain in the ditch. Okay? I really don't think he fell in the ditch. Okay? I really don't think. They're saying it's like a foot of water, but at the same time, I will say this though too. I have seen people I've read stories and I've heard stories of people succumbing to water, drowning, because in less than a foot of water. I will say that. But if it was a foot of water, you don't think that they would find him in the drainage, in the ditch? You see what I'm saying? It's not like I would assume that the current in that drain is not very strong. So would they be able to push 180 pound, 5'11" young man? I doubt it. But it is very interesting, and this is the footage that they have here, and it's very foggy, and it's very pixelated because I'm assuming it's where it was, how it was sent. Maybe it wasn't close enough to a tower or something of that sort. But still, no matter what, pretty crazy though, right? That's the last image that was seen, and then boom, gone. Interesting, right? Something to think about. I didn't want to play the whole thing, but I just wanted to show you guys that part right there. And that's very interesting. Okay? That was a Snapchat photo that was sent to his friend at around 3:03 a.m. And then after that, radio silence. And I know for all of us that are out here in the true crime realm, okay, in the land of true crimedom, we're going to sit here and go, was this some sort of cryptic message that he was trying to send to his friend? I don't know about all that. I don't. I'm actually curious about what other conversation was being said to his friend to his high school friend in San Antonio that would garner a photo like that? Did he say, man, bro, it's so foggy out here, and then sent it? Or did he randomly just send a photo like that? That's very random, right? On a very foggy evening or a very foggy morning. It's very odd, right? Very, very odd. But something to think about. Something to think about. In fact, that's one thing I want to know. What is the address of his home? That's one thing I'd like to know. What is the address of his home? That's something I need to look up. But in the meantime, because I'm sure somebody in the chat knows the address of the home. If not, see, there it is. 1900 block of Enos. 1900 block of Enos. Hold on. It's disappearing too quick. Hold up, guys. Let's see. Let us see. Let's take a look. Let's see. 1900. Enos Jocelyn Road. Enos rhymes with something. Moving on. Let's take a look at this, guys. That's interesting, though. But I want you to see this. Don't you see? If this is really where it is, that's a whole lot of water. Let me just blow this all the way up, or, go all the way back. Okay. Notice that's a lot of water. That's a lot of water to live by. Like I said, this kind of tells me Riley Strain, okay? And there's a good possibility a tragic accident happened. He may have been walking. He may have been a little bit under the influence. You never know. And he tripped and fell. Okay, I know that it's not going to be this. It's not the same result as Riley's, because we still are side-eyeing. We're still scratching our heads on that whole situation. Doesn't make any sense that Riley has no boots on, no pants on. It seems a bit odd, right? And I know that there's a lot of pushback about the find, how he was found, etc. I know there's people are asking a lot of questions about that, and I totally 110% understand. I'm looking at that too, and I'm questioning everything as well. But still, the fact that there's a lot of water tells me something that could have happened. Is it what we want it to be? No. But it's definitely, like as Tony just said, definitely Riley Strain vibes. But yes, it's Riley Strain-esque. But then again, until police do whatever they need to do, like I'm wondering if they have looked into all of this water. Have they looked at all this? This is a lot of all of this. Look at that. That's a lot. Into Corpus Christi Bay. That's a lot of water, y'all. Hamburger. That's a lot. That's a lot, y'all. Just saying. So something to think about for sure. Anything's possible. Like I said, it could have been a tragic mistake, or it could have been something else. Right? Sheila, hopefully I'm saying that right, or Shella, welcome to the family. Thank you so much for becoming a member. I really do appreciate it. Mandy, thank you so much for the $3 super sticker. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Okay? But let us continue. See, that's what I'm thinking too, Nicole B. That's why I'm saying, where's the rest of the ring cam footage, man? And why haven't they shown it? See, this is the thing. Let me just, this is the issue that I have with the stuff that they don't give us. Because it's like, can you just give us all the footage? maybe not all of it, okay? Not every single last stitch, okay, of video. But can you just give us the video that shows him walking in and out of the place? Because then that kind of gives us a little bit more of an idea of what is going on here, rather than us speculating, thinking that he was just nabbed right there, right at the foot of his door, that kind of thing. Just show us the Carfax, man. Just give us the information. That's all I ask. But damn, you only give us a sliver, a little morsel, un petit morceau. That makes no sense. So just give us everything. Dagnabbit, just give us the footage and be done with it. This is when everybody goes crazy and starts thinking all these different things. This is when we start going crazy, wearing the tinfoil hats, dagnabbit. Because if he walked out and he was visibly drunk, then we'd be like, oh, okay, there could be a possibility here. You know what I mean? But if he was walking all fine, like, walking down the street, then it's like, yo, something's up here. Is there more footage? So, like I said, I just got questions. And I'm new to this case, so everybody tranquilo. I'm new to the case. This is all new. I'm asking all the questions that any other person that is new to this case knows. I've done a lot of homework. There's a lot to break down, okay? So haters, you can back off, all right? But still, I'm going to be asking those questions no matter what. Doesn't matter if I had every single stitch of information or not. I'm learning as I go as well. This is still a very brand new case for me. I have been covering and keeping an eye on the Riley Strain case, the Sebastian Rogers case. I'm learning all these things as I go. That's just how I operate out here in these streets. I know other people operate differently, but it's still very interesting. Nonetheless, I will say something too. There's something here. If we look at the footage, okay? Because see, this is the thing. If police are saying, oh, you know, the surveillance footage it's so foggy and all that, okay, that's fine. That's cool. But they had enough to be able to look at this. Hold on, I'm going to show it to you guys. Hold up. They had enough to see this guy, and I get it. Hold on, I'm showing it to you guys. That's fine. Sure, it's not the greatest footage, but we still see his ass walking around. You see what I'm saying? So, if he was to walk out of, let's just say, out of this apartment complex, I think we would have been able to see him. Let's be real. Doesn't matter how foggy or not foggy it is. They would have been able to see him walking out of there. They would have seen some sort of movement. Do you realize, listen, guys, we were looking at a video for Riley Strain that we were all just doing this, like one of the last episodes of Game of Thrones. We're all like, what, is that a dragon? Wait, is that Jon Snow? Who that? Who that be? Remember that? It's after the second bridge. We're looking at all kinds of crazy digital ghosts and stuff like that walking across, looking over the side of the river and stuff like that. So if we were able to do that ish, you can show us a little bit of that footage too. Trust me, we would have made something out of nothing with that footage. Trust. So you can miss me with that nonsense saying police are going, it's so foggy that we can't see nothing. Sorry. It's foggy right there too. I see something. I see 3 people and a little puppy dog. Okay. Just saying. Moving on. Okay? So yes, show us all the footage. All right? That's what I say. Show us all of it. The whole shebang. Because then we get a better idea. Oh, it looks like he's really struggling to walk. Maybe he's sober as a judge, but at least we get to see him before he disappears. Was there a car that passed by? Was there more to this than just this? which is great. It's great to see him smiling and with his friends and having a good time. But what about 3? What about that late 2 o'clock, early 3 a.m. in the morning? Where's that? I don't give a damn if it's too foggy. Give me the fogginess. I'll figure it out. Let me look with my own 2 eyes. I think a lot of y'all agree too. Okay? Period. Okay? Dag nabbit. Too many haters out here. Too many haters. Too many. It's like, damn. I'm just trying to get the word out here about this young man. I'm trying to find out what's going on, just like everybody else. You know what I mean? Damn. I can't ask no questions? Damn. Moving on, I want to show you guys this. Again, let me show you the map time. Again, yes, we're going in the map time. Shout out to Gizla, all right? Well, I don't have the fancy, map time, but still, look at this. That's a lot of water, y'all. Still, no matter what, that's a lot of water. And there's still a possibility that this young man may have slipped, may have fallen, may have made a mistake, etc. Those things could have happened. Some tragic accident could have happened. Or, again, there could have been something bad that happened to him too, against his will. A crime could have happened. But still, he sends a photo. It's a foggy photo of that bridge near that drainage ditch. And that's the only thing that we have of him from that point on. His phone either loses its signal or it dies. That's pretty crazy. Okay? That's pretty crazy. But I wish we could see a lot more footage than just him playing with the puppy. That's great. But I want to see the real meat and potatoes. The moments right before he disappeared. Where's that footage? Show us that footage. If it's super foggy, fine. But show us that footage. That's what I think. And I'm wondering if the parents have seen that footage as well. All of it. I'm sure they have at this point. But I'm wondering if they can give us a little insight on that information. What did they see? Is it really that foggy you can't see a damn thing? Or can you see something? Do you see a figure walking down the street? Any cars, vehicles, etc. Anything aside from the guy that was hanging out with his girlfriend, who was visiting his girlfriend, and the Uber Eats driver. Is there any more movement other than those 2 things? I'm curious. Centaurus just said something that's a good point too. Dating apps. Dating apps is another conversation as well. At least it sparks a question as far as could he have been like hollering at a girl? I don't know. Can they get access to his apps? All of them. It doesn't hurt for them to look down those ways, because you never know. He might have been rush houred. It's a thing. Men are getting rush houred too. You know what I meant. For those of y'all who caught that. But still, we'll see what happens, okay? Yeah, you see, Nicole B, thank you. The fog would not be right up on the camera. You see what I'm saying? Thank you. See, I'm not crazy. Thank you, Nicole B from downtown. Okay? I ain't crazy. Okay? I am not crazy. Okay? They would have been, you'd be able to see something. So them saying, oh, the fog. Yeah, I call cap. A hard cap. Okay? That's just what I think. But nonetheless, I really do hope they're able to find this young man. We're going to keep an eye on this. We're going to keep the conversation rolling on this because we still need to know what's going on. And I think that there's a lot that hasn't been unearthed And I'm hoping we get some answers here. I would love to hear from the friends. I really would love to hear from the friends. There is a friend that did do an interview. I'm going to share that with you guys right now. Let's take a look.
Neighborhood news reporter in the Bay Area. It's been more than 2 weeks since 21-year-old Caleb Harris vanished. I spoke with a friend close to the Harris family who is leading other search efforts to find him.
Let's continue.
Think that somebody like Caleb would go missing is a little scary.
Priscilla Carlisle has known the Harris family for more than a decade. She watched Caleb grow up as he and her daughter went to school together. She recalls the moment that she heard of his disappearance.
My daughter Ellie called me, and the first moment that I heard Caleb was missing, I remember saying, "What do you mean missing? What are you talking about?"
Within hours, the Carlisle family drove down to Corpus Christi to help the Harris family find him.
Shaking the bushes, checking the ditches, looking in the tunnels, and I find myself doing that just as I'm driving along the road. I'm looking in the wooded areas and, just trying to pay attention to details that I might ordinarily not pay attention to.
I'm really thinking that they need to start looking in the water, but that's just me. I really think they need to start looking in the water because the water's not very far from where he lives. Like, I don't know. It just, yeah.
With permission from Caleb's family, Carlisle created a Facebook group to plan search efforts and post important updates. However, other pages have also been created, not verified by the family. Carlisle adds that people have also posted inaccurate information, false predictions, and conspiracies about the Harris family.
Welcome to the internet. Oh, my Lord. The double-edged sword that I keep talking to you guys about. This double-edged, mother-loving sword. It sucks, man. It sucks, but Caleb's name needs to be out there, right? I know it's annoying. It's really, really annoying. But I hope they realize that there's a bigger goal here, right?
It's really just so that I can help kind of vet the stuff that comes out. And there really is a lot of information that is not accurate.
2 GoFundMe pages were also made by close friends to raise money in support of the family and those participating in the search. Although Caleb still has not been found, Carlisle says the Harris family has not given up.
The Harris family is really grateful. We are continuing to help bring him home.
Whether they know Caleb or not, Carlisle is hoping that people in the community will do their part to bring him home safely.
If you were in this position and your son, your 21-year-old son was missing, what would you want people to do? They still need your help. If you have any kind of surveillance equipment, video cameras, go back and review those cameras.
No doubt.
Because we do know that he was mobile. He wasn't in one location.
So
That's true. Like I said before, and what we've been talking about big time. Everyone who lives in that area needs to start looking at their surveillance cameras, ring cameras, etc. Without a shadow of a doubt.
far, there are no new leads from law enforcement in the search to find Caleb. If you have any information that may help, you're asked to call Corpus Christi Police. Covering your neighborhood.
Yeah. And I feel like that's really important, right? That everybody in the neighborhood, everybody that's in that surrounding area, just look at their surveillance footage around March 3rd and 4th, okay? Early morning, March 4th. Just look through your surveillance footage. Look through your, man, if you have a dash cam camera on your car and you were driving around that area at that time, just look at your footage. If you have ring cameras, if you have little rinky-dink surveillance video cameras, just propped up on random parts of your house or your apartment, please just look through all of that stuff. You just never know. You might catch a glimpse of him minutes before or seconds before he disappeared. That's just interesting. Let's see. IT or it's shady. All these cameras and no video on this. Yeah, I do find it weird that we only have, what they've released so far, because God knows what else law enforcement actually has their hands on. Let's not forget that. But they've only released that little surveillance footage of Caleb with the dog and his friends. That's it. That is weird. Okay? Because you know for a fact there's probably footage from that same angle that Cam does not turn off, from my understanding, right? Or at least turns on when there's movement, right? Near the Ring camera, right? So maybe he walked by it again, which would set it off for a second. Or any other footage, cameras, and other Ring cameras in the area. As soon as you walk by a Ring camera, at least the new ones are like this, it'll alert your phone. If there's movement outside your front door, it'll show you who just walked by, if it was just a passing person, or if it was somebody actually knocking on your door, or if it was a DoorDash or somebody delivering something for you, dropping it off, blah, blah, blah. They would show it to you. That's what these newfangled Ring cameras do. They're fire. They're fire, man. But if he was too far away, there is a good possibility that it wouldn't have turned on. Maybe because of the fog, or maybe because of the distance. If he was literally across the parking lot, that's a possibility as well. Or if he didn't even walk in that direction, there's a possibility he didn't walk in that direction. That's possible too. But I'm still wondering. There's got to be other Ring cameras. It's an apartment complex. You know for a fact there's surveillance footage somewhere showing him walking around. There's got to be. There's got to be. So I'm hoping that we find out something very, very soon, because I know this family needs the help, all the help it can get. My prayers go out to them. Real talk. My prayers really do go out to them. They need the help, all the help that they can get. Okay? But anyway, guys, that is the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. It really does mean a lot. Okay? Really does mean a lot. Reviews on apartment complex say constant gunshot. Wow. That could say something too. Yeah, it may. That's a good question too. Hold up. That could literally be the question too. What environment is he living in? How safe is that apartment complex or that neighborhood in which that he's living in? Something to think about for sure. Okay? I mean, he may be living right up in, yeah, Nicole B, he might be right up in the hood. You never know. But does that mean that the hood came to him that night? It's at least something to ask, right? At least it's something to ask. Anyway, guys, now the show is over. I appreciate all y'all for being here. It really does mean a lot. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. I appreciate all y'all. Please do me a favor, okay? Before you head out, hit that like button down below. Make sure you hit that reaction button if you're watching on any of these other platforms. This is the problem, because I know that we get super hyper focused on one particular case, and we forget about all the other people that need help too. This is the reason why we hit that like button. This is the reason why we react. We comment under the video. We show some love because it gets it out there for other people so that other people can start giving a damn about finding Caleb and the slew of other missing individuals out here. Don't get me wrong. We're still going to be talking about Sebastian Rogers. We're still going to be covering if there's new developments on Riley Strain. We're going to be talking about that, and we're going to talk about Diddy. Don't worry, we're going to be talking about Diddy very, very soon. But still, there's a lot of people that need help and eyeballs on their son or daughter's cases. So please hit that like button, react, comment, all that stuff. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, please and thank you. Don't forget to hit that follow button. Follow me on TikTok. I will be on in a little bit live on TikTok to rap with you guys for a spell. So be sure to tune in. We're going to be talking about a bunch of things, having like an open discussion, talk as a family. We've had some really great conversations live on TikTok, so be on the lookout for that. We're going to be talking. All right? So please follow me. on all my platforms, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, all The Pascal Show. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that join button down below. Become a member if you're watching on YouTube. Join my Patreon, patreon.com/The Pascal Show. Check out pascalmerch.com. We got some really great stuff over there, and I'll be talking to you guys very, very soon. Much love to you guys. I'll be seeing you guys tonight on TikTok. We'll be chatting it up for a little bit over there, okay? It's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. See you guys very soon. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.